We are back with Seth in the SLC, Salt Lake City. What's up, Seth?
How's it going, John?
Dude, we are rocking on to the break of dawn this morning. How about you?
Very good. I'm very good.
Dude, I just got back from Salt Lake City. What a beautiful city. Yeah, I was there a couple of times this month.
I didn't even stop by and say hi.
We did. I hung out. You were too busy, I don't know, whatever, playing your video games, whatever. Hey, that is a beautiful city. Stunning.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to like about it.
It's just, man, this
country. You're more than welcome to visit more often, John.
Well, thank you. They asked me to leave, but I appreciate you. I'm just kidding. They didn't ask me to leave. The more I travel, the more this country is so big and so beautiful. And there's so many awesome people. It's incredible, but great community there, man. So what's up, brother? How can I help?
So I have two sons. One of them is 2 years old, almost 2 years old. The other one is 4. My older one has kind of been my shadow his whole life. Anytime I'm off work, he's with me. My younger son, I just don't have that same connection with him, and I don't know how do I make room for one without pulling away from the other one?
Whew, that's a great question, man. So have you tried this and you felt like you were pulling away from one? Tell me about that.
Yeah. So this is going to sound crazy, right?
Have you ever heard this show? Yeah, we're all crazy. It's cool, man. So what's up?
So I was sitting on the floor with my younger son. We were reading a book together, and everything was fine. When my older son came up and sat down, my younger son just got up and walked away. But then he turned back and looked at me almost like I'd betrayed him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
He doesn't feel like there's space for him, and it kind of broke my heart, John.
Yes, absolutely. There's so much there. So much there. You know who broke your heart? You did.
No.
Not your 2-year-old. Don't give your 2-year-old that kind of power.
No, I don't.
Okay. Here's why. They're 2. And there's a reason why as a society we've been like, you know what? We shouldn't let 2-year-olds buy beer. Not a good idea. And we shouldn't let 2-year-olds drive or operate heavy machinery or smoke marijuana. There's a whole bunch of things we've said 2-year-olds can't do, but we give them access to our souls. And they say things like, I don't like you, Daddy. And it destroys us. Or they give a look to us, and we interpret that look as, you've betrayed me, Father. I'll remember this. And I will kill you in your sleep, you scoundrel. I mean, we say this crap to ourselves, so dumb. But I do it too, man. I do it too. I told my wife that I want to be careful I tell us. I told my wife the other day, literally our daughter doesn't like me. And she looked at me she's like, yes, she does. You're annoying. And she doesn't like to be around annoying, but she really likes you. And my wife was right. So all that to say is this, man, I'm just smiling so big because I've been right where you are, where I feel like that you betrayed me, Father. I felt that so bad. Give me another time. Give me another time.
Well, the younger one, as long as it's just him and I, he's totally fine with kind of playing, right? But then anytime my older son comes up and wants to play around as well, he just kind of goes away. He doesn't want to stay and play with the 2 of us, me and my older son, as a 3, he doesn't want to play as 3. He wants to play kind of one-on-one.
Sure.
And him and his brother have a great relationship. Mm-hmm. But to me, the only way I can describe it is he just doesn't feel like he has space if my older son is there. And
I would say that you're putting a lot of words into his head.
No, that's true.
Lots of thoughts and feelings and emotions. It may just be things are loud. It may be that dad acts different when brother shows up. And I for whatever reason, your kid feels uncomfortable about that. But articulating there's just not enough space for me here, that's a lot to put in the head of a 2-year-old.
It probably actually goes back to one of my biggest fears about having a second kid was that I wouldn't be able to the relationship just with my second is so much different from my first because I already have a first.
Yes. One of my great friends, man, he's one of the greatest men I've ever met. His name's Brad. He's an awesome guy. And I remember, man, he was one of the first one of our little gang to have kids. and his daughter, man, he loved that girl. He was incredible dad, just awesome dad. And they were talking about having a second kid, and I'll never forget he mentioned to me, and it had never occurred to me till he said it. I don't understand how I could possibly love somebody as much as I love my daughter. And so I don't know that I want to have a second kid because that wouldn't be fair, because there's no way it competes with this. And so what I would tell you is that same fear that you're expressing there, you're put it out into the world, and now you're looking for it everywhere. Where am I not adding up? Where am I not loving enough? Where am I not doing this right? You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is not how I expected this call to go.
Right. Well, I want you to flip this whole thing around. You're gonna love these kids differently, and you're gonna love these kids a lot. And my daughter needs different types of connection and interaction than my son does. My son loves to hug. My daughter loves fighting. I don't understand it, but it is awesome. It's just so different. Like, I would come home from work and I'll say, hey, come here, Hank, and he'll come over and we'll hug. It's a good 15, 30-second hug. And then I will set my backpack down and my daughter will square up with me. And she'll say, are you ready? And she's 5. I'm like, I guess we're going to have our welcome home fist fight. Here we go. You know what I mean? And it's just this chaotic, like, hurricane of hair and hands. And it's awesome. And then we hug, and then it goes, our kid, we're going to love them differently. And so here's 2 things we can do. The first thing is this. Ask yourself honestly, am I annoyed by my younger son? Does he annoy me? Do I feel bothered by him? Those are the feelings that I want you to root out. And those aren't things he's doing to you. That's not the fundamental attribution error when you get in his head and you pretend you know what he's thinking and why he's doing things. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. Get inside your own head and say, it actually kind of annoys me when he comes around. Or he just doesn't play like my other kid does. I want you to root those things out because your young son will feel that. He'll absorb that stuff. And I want you to be honest about, how do I connect with my kid? And this is the pot talking to the kettle here, brother, because I'm learning this in real time right now. How do I connect with each one of my kids? And how do I give each one of my kids their own time? And they've got to learn to play with one another and me at the same time, because we're going to have lots of family trips. We're going to have lots of times when we're all going hunting together and we're all going fishing. And we're going to have times when we're all going to go play family or play house or whatever it is we're going to do there. But it's both and. And if your son decides when your other son shows up that he doesn't want to participate, I want you to grab his 2-year-old little hands and say, Daddy would love it if you stayed and played with us. Daddy wants you to be a part of this. It's more fun for us to play when you're with us. And then he's free to go if he wants to. So I don't want him to ever leave without hey, I want you to know that we would have more fun if you were here. And I don't want him to feel forced, trapped into a situation that for whatever reason he doesn't want to be a part of right now. And I would, for the best you can, don't overthink an interaction with a 2-year-old. Let me rephrase that. 2-year-olds are brilliant and intuitive. And so if a kid doesn't feel safe and they walk away, be attuned to that. Don't over-intellectualize a 2-year-old. How about that?
Okay.
Don't have academic conversations with somebody who is less than 36 months old. Lean into the things that he loves. Invite your 4-year-old into those things and let your 4-year-old do things that maybe are different. Are your boys way different from each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So give him some private connection time, and then some days say, hey, we're all going to color. Because it may just be when the 4-year-old brother comes, we all end up playing soccer, and the 2-year-old just wants to color. Or the 2-year-old wants to play soccer, and the 4-year-old, like, all the soccer balls go away, we just all color. So be attuned to those kind of things. But just be intentional about, last time we played this, today we're going to play this. And if your 4-year-old throws a fit and says, well, I'm not doing that, you do the same thing with him. I'd love it if you were here. It's more fun to color when you're with us. But if you want to go play, feel free. And they're going to learn autonomy. And what they're going to learn is, oh, I'm making the choice to leave this situation. Dad's not kicking me out of here.
I like it.
Does that sound good?
Yes. Thank you very much,
Hey.
Doctor.
Just John, brother. Just John. And you're a good dad, man. I wish every couple of little boys had an old man like you who was just trying to love them the best he knew how. Good for you, man. Good for you. We don't let 2-year-olds buy cigarettes. We don't let them hurt our feelings. One and the same.